What if I told you that your mind can perceive glimpses of the future and it's not magic? Have you ever sensed something coming and then it happened? Not a lucky guess, but a deep, sudden knowing. What if that intuitive ability isn't rare, but simply dormant within you right now? Today we're exploring the psychology behind the modern seer and how to awaken your own inner intuitive power. Let's begin with a profound question. What exactly is a seer? Historically, seers were people believed to pierce the veil, able to sense the future, the hidden or the unspoken. But modern psychology offers a new perspective. A seer is someone with finely tuned pattern recognition, deep subconscious awareness, and a strong relationship with symbolic meaning. Chances are you already have these traits. Maybe you're even developing them without realizing it. And yes, you can amplify them. Let's break it into 3 pillars: perception, amplification, and expression. Perception: seers perceive differently. The brain is a prediction machine, always scanning for patterns and signals. Most of this happens below conscious awareness, like seeing a face in the clouds or feeling tension when entering a room. But a seer doesn't ignore that gut sense. They lean into it, they trust the subconscious, even when it defies logic. They pair this with conscious awareness, mindful attention to inner nudges. Research shows that intuitive thinkers outperform analytical ones in situations involving ambiguity, subtle cues, or uncertainty. Neuroscientists call this process incubation, where information absorbed subconsciously later emerges as insight. Einstein even spoke of this, how stepping away from direct thinking often sparked his breakthroughs. Seers know the mind speaks in symbols through dreams, daydreams, and intuition. Rather than dismissing them, they document and decode them. A dream image isn't just fantasy, it may contain emotional truths or archetypal wisdom. Symbols act like ancient computers, compressing immense data into a single form. That's why myth and art are packed with them. Amplification: next comes amplification, strengthening the signal. This involves refining your inner and outer environment, less digital noise, more stillness, and intentional practices like journaling, meditation, and dream incubation. You also create feedback loops, moments where you test intuitive nudges. Did you feel pulled to glance at the clock at a precise time? Take note, did that gut feeling turn out accurate? Over time, your mind begins tuning in with greater precision. Try 3 simple exercises: daily intuition logs. Jot down flashes of insight, colors, emotions, phrases. Review at night. What played out? Dream triggers. Before sleep, ask a question like, what do I need to see? Write it down. In the morning, capture the first thing that comes: image, feeling, or fragment. Energy sensing. Place your hand on your heart and ask yes/no questions. Feel your body's subtle responses. Intuition often speaks through the body first. Expression. The 3rd pillar is expression. Seers don't hoard insight, they share it. Through conversation, art, writing, and teaching, they give form to what they sense. Speaking your intuitive thoughts aloud refines them. It helps discern truth from projection. When you express it, it becomes your oracle voice. When you nurture all 3 pillars, deep perception, focused amplification, and clear expression, you start noticing more. You recognize patterns earlier. You communicate them with confidence. But there's a shadow side: heightened intuition also brings risk of projection, fear, or false certainty. This is why discernment is essential. Ask yourself, am I seeing what's there, or what I wish was there? Healthy skepticism keeps your insight grounded. Now that you understand the mindset of the seer, we're ready to go deeper into the rituals, decoding symbols, and sharpening intuitive tools, backed by modern science. Symbolic awareness. This isn't fortune telling, it's about understanding how your psyche communicates through signs, patterns, and impressions. One ancient practice is symbol incubation. Mystics would pose a question in sacred places, then watch for symbols in their dreams or waking world. Neuroscience now confirms that the mind, when seated with a question, begins searching for meaning beneath the surface. Before bed, write a thoughtful, open-ended question in your journal. Something like, what truth about myself do I need to see? Then let it go. In the morning, record anything that comes, an image, word, or emotion. Repeat this over days. You'll notice patterns. That's your inner language emerging. To the seer, everything holds symbolic potential. A crow at dawn, a phrase overheard, a feeling in your gut. These are not random. Carl Jung called it the language of the unconscious. Stillness and synchronicity. Stillness is crucial. In a world overloaded with digital noise, the ability to listen inward is eroding. But even 5 minutes a day of true silence, no music, no phone, can begin to rewire your awareness. You'll start noticing subtle shifts in energy and sensation that others overlook. And then there's synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that seem orchestrated. Jung saw synchronicities as signs that your inner and outer worlds are in alignment. When you notice them, your brain's reflective systems engage, supporting problem solving, creativity, and deep insight. Tools of the seer. One tool is mirror gazing, also called scrying. In dim light, gaze into a mirror not to see your face, but to watch what arises from within. Images may shift, feelings may surface. This taps into dissociative states where unconscious material becomes visible, not to predict the future, but to see yourself more clearly. The modern seer doesn't rely on blind faith. They test intuition, feel a hunch to reach out to someone, track the outcome, sense tension in a space, reflect on what followed. Over time, you'll spot reliable signals and separate them from anxiety or projection. But remember, some insights take time. Don't rush to decode everything. The seer learns to live with mystery. Living symbolically, seers also surround themselves with symbolic proximity, objects, images, and texts that keep their subconscious attuned, not as superstition, but as anchors, as reminders to stay open, curious, and aware. In the next chapter, we'll explore how science now supports what mystics have long known. Studies in psychology, quantum physics, and consciousness are showing that the intuitive mind is not only real, it's vital. Science and intuition research from institutions like HeartMath shows that the heart's electromagnetic field can register changes before the brain processes them. Other studies reveal that our bodies respond to unpredictable events moments before they occur, suggesting that precognition might be a real phenomenon. Meanwhile, cognitive scientists point to implicit pattern recognition, your brain unconsciously picking up micro-signals, subtle shifts, emotional tones. What we call gut instinct is often subconscious processing coming to the surface. Even quantum theory challenges the rigid view of reality, suggesting that consciousness might play an active role in shaping the world. Carl Jung's idea of the collective unconscious supports this too. Our shared symbolic language passed down through myths, dreams, and intuitive insights. The seer's way. Modern seers walk between the worlds of ancient knowing and modern understanding. They use dream journaling, meditation, and mindfulness not just for personal insight, but for healing, creativity, and deeper awareness. This path isn't about escaping the world. It's about engaging with it on a symbolic level, finding meaning where others see randomness and clarity where others see coincidence. To stay connected to this path, build your life around it. Intentional silence, symbolic reflection, tracking synchronicities, holding powerful questions, and most of all, humility. The best seers aren't those who always know. They're the ones who are willing to question what they know. So now, the question is yours to answer. Are you ready to stop silencing your inner voice, to live beyond the surface of thought, and listen to what lies deeper? Because the gift of a seer isn't in predicting the future. It's in being present with what is, to sense what others miss, to act not out of fear, but clarity, and to stay in conversation with something greater than yourself. The universe is whispering. The signs are already here. Will you choose to listen? If this message stirred something inside you, leave a comment below. Share your story, your signs, or your journey. And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to support more content like this. The oracle lives within you. Now is the time to awaken it.